Here's the bit of cinnabark that I was able to find for you, Rashtak. Perhaps a dash of this into the concoction?
Yes, that will help the flavor. It's an unnecessary ingredient for the recipe, but it will make it taste nice. Oh, wait. No, this was needed. No, thank you.
How much exactly do you think you'll be able to make?
Karun was able to get many vials. I should be able to make a portion for each of us with a few spares, but I won't make those now in case Karun wishes for them.
And what is that you're adding in? Just
do you wish to actually know?
I do, yes, and I'll pull out my journal.
It asked for the legs of a millipede. I crushed them fine. There is no textural issue. I do not like bugs. Yes, I'm trying to make sort of a stew. Might make it more palatable. It will likely taste very unpleasant.
You seem comfortable doing this. Have you done this often?
I mean, I cook. I do enjoy making meals. But in terms of this sort of thing, no, not that often. It was more my grandmother's expertise.
You're fond of her?
Yes, she raised me. Didn't know my parents, though that's not uncommon in a lot of tribes. Yes. Yeah.
Well, I come from a very large family.
Oh, how many siblings did you have?
8? Up to 12, perhaps?
That is a good amount.
We kind of lose track. Our families tend to, they shift around quite a bit. I don't think, compared to your conventional human standards, that they stay static.
What is the number that humans have when they breed?
Oh, from my studies, it varies quite a bit. It can be just 1, or perhaps up to 8, 9.
A commendable amount to continue a legacy. I was expecting less, actually. I don't usually see that many children for humans.
Of what I've observed, it seems to be quite rare, but possible.
It's not as grand as 12, 18, 25.
Is that how many siblings you had?
Depends. I don't know how many I have anymore. Breeding cycles are large and frequent. Well, once a year is frequent, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Well, the parents of the brood usually continue for many years and have 6 to 8 in the clutch.
I scribble away at these notes. You hear the sound of my pen scritching across the parchment.
Could you hand me that ladle, please?
Yes, of course. Here you are.
Thank you.
How's it taste? Oh.
I think it's a little off still. Maybe more of that cinnabark.
All right. I'll have to go get some.
Sorry. I did not mean to burden you with this.
No, it is my pleasure to help.
Once with that, it just needs to simmer for 30 minutes, an hour.
Very good. Well, I'll go check on the others as I go find some more.
Thank you.
And I will make my way over to the stores where we've been keeping everything. Yara.
Yes?
Oh, what are you up to?
Well, I was, just reading a little bit. Yeah, might have taken a book from our travels.
Oh, do you mind if I ask what it is?
Oh, do you remember that one about the Duskwalker? Finishing it up now.
How are you feeling about all of that?
It's interesting. I mean, it doesn't answer my particular questions, I suppose, but it's an interesting bit of fiction.
Fiction?
I mean, I suppose it's fiction.
Well,
Anyway.
you are living proof, aren't you?
I suppose. I mean, it takes liberties. But what about you when I close the book quickly? What have you been up to?
I'm just helping Arashtak brew up those potions, the ones that should be able to allow us to revisit our memories, ones we've lost.
Right.
It seems it's almost done.
Well, that is wonderful. And how are you feeling about that? Is it something you wish to look into?
Of course. There are pockets of memories that I cannot recall, especially those around the missing moment. If I could do anything to get those memories back, perhaps we would get some kind of information or divination on what exactly happened to us. What brought us all together like this.
Yes. I suppose the things that we have remembered are fragmented. It'll be good to know. It'll be good to know.
I sense hesitance with you.
Well, there's the whole nature of what is being kept from me by Pharasma, I suppose. I would assume it's Pharasma. I wonder if this will assist in unearthing any of that, or if it's maybe something I shouldn't unearth. I would like to know about my sister, I suppose.
You won't be alone. And we don't have to all take it together all at once.
I suppose that's true.
Have you seen Malavik?
I think I see his horns poking up over there. Malavik, darling!
You would see me up on the deck side, looking out into the open water, leaning on the banister of the ship, just kind of lost in thoughts as I prepare myself for Mindev. So I do not answer your call.
He's been keeping to himself, hasn't he?
He has. I suppose I should likely apologize. Lost control while we were fighting.
Well then, I'll leave the two of you to it. We'll go get more bark for our dear friend Rashtok.
Celia?
Yes?
I'll grab your hand and squeeze it. Thank you for
Squeeze that.
checking in.
Of course. If you need me, I'll be just below deck.
All right. I will gather my skirts and walk over towards Malavik. Malavik? Is now a bad time?
No, I'm just looking out at the water as we travel. It's rare that I go on voyages like this. I've really never been on a ship that's this long, at least without being smuggled. So I'm just kind of taking in the atmosphere of it all, I guess you could say.
It is quite beautiful despite being quite terrifying. To be out in the middle of the water. Hardly able to swim. Rapids able to take you under and murder you without any sort of regard for your life or safety.
Yes, unfortunately, every circumstance could be the same.
Speaking of safety, I will move closer and put a hand on the railing. I wanted to apologize.
For what?
Well, whilst we were fighting that crew, I lost control. I was attempting to... I suppose my pride got in the way while I was attempting to learn this spell that I now have in my possession because the gods will it, I suppose. A curse wills it. So I just wished to apologize for hitting you.
I have not even realized that you've done such a thing.
That light that killed those men was me.
Oh. That's, surprising. I thought you were the one that was more of a, caretaker of life, more than a taker.
You would see me looking at my hands. And I suppose, all hands are capable of both, perhaps.
I'll grab...
Frightening as it might be.
I'll grab one of your hands and, such tiny hands are capable of taking life is a good reminder that we have to be responsible for our actions and then take them into consideration, that every action becomes a part of us. It's growing. And taking a life out of self-defense and the care of your clan is never a bad thing. Do not hold it too close to your heart. You did what had to be done. I am still here. But now I have a reminder where that seer, I'll look on the side of my back shoulder came from. Shall wear with pride.
Nonetheless, I am sorry. I did not intend for you to get in the way. Or for it to be that long range. Did you see how far I shot that fucking thing?
I didn't see anything. I guess I felt it.
Did you feel how far I shot that fucking thing?
I guess I did. I have a constant reminder. And now I'll let your hand go.
It is a reminder for us all to be careful, I suppose.
We'll stay here, breathing. There. Being able to do things that are capable that those that were lost at sea are not able to. Something came over me out there. I didn't even go into a state of red like I normally do. I felt like I needed to protect that one for some reason I don't understand.
Perhaps we are tempering the flame,
I don't know. I don't like change very much because I don't understand it. and I feel like I have a grip on who I will become, what I am. It gets away from me every slip. Whatever happened between me and Arcelia, I feel like some of her is rubbing off into me. I would have cut those people down without thinking twice. But for some reason I thought about compassion over anger.
Do you think that that is because of Arcelia or because you are learning?
Maybe both. Which is
That
scary.
is strange, though. This, magic that has now occurred between the two of you.
I'm still trying to figure out if it's a blessing or a curse. There's always two sides of a blade, Yara. Power always has its consequences. Someone ends up getting hurt, no matter how gentle you try to do it. I fear that if something happens to either one of us, something drastic will happen to the other. Still trying to understand it.
So what is it like? How does it work to your knowledge so far?
Yes, I see glimpses. I'm pretty sure that Arcelia feels the same. Strong emotions. Some emotions that I don't understand. Some emotions that trigger responses. My body acts in a different way. I'm pretty sure that the overwhelming burst of what you would call anger probably feeds into her. When she's critically hurt of some sort, I feel like I can share the burden. But it's an instinct, it's a reaction that I have to take immediately. If I think too much on it, I lose the connection. Strangely, it feels like when we're not close to the ley lines of what have you, the connection is shortened, faster. It has to be more of a instinctual feeling. But near those ley lines, it feels like it's more of a concentration, something I can take my time and really pump my energy into. Images become more clear, less foggy, and feel more powerful. It's almost like if I was to swing my sword, her hands are wrapped around mine. The swing goes through, guided, but with two thoughts as one, more than my own. It must mean nonsense to you.
No. No, I mean, you've seen my magics. They're the result of a curse, of course, but to be able to take some of that pain away from you all. I don't quite know if that is a curse. It feels as if it is a blessing. It hurts. Gods, does it hurt, but I think being able to share those burdens, those parts of ourselves, is a very important thing.
You see the water out there. I like to compare it to that. Right now it's calming, tranquil. Some people may even look at this as serenity, peace. But the moment that you trust too much into those waves, it can overtake you, overwhelm you, overcome you, and become crashing as hard as the land itself. It can bury you, take your breath away, strangulate you.
Or it can carry you to safety.
Double-edged sword. Blessing and curses. Names, really. Blessings can be just as scary as curses. Vice versa. As we're gonna find out as we reach the shores of Mindev. I cannot promise you that things will be smooth for our travels, as while I am traveling with you, I'm debating on embarking on my own adventure. Maybe splitting away from you all for a while. Find you on the back end. I do not want harm coming to you. I've been thinking about it for a long time.
Malavik.
I do not care to see you become a victim of the discrimination that may become a part of why I exist. Mendev, through history, has been through a lot, as you know. Or maybe you don't know.
Malavik, it does not matter. We are there for you. You should not have to suffer such cruelty alone.
If only my mother could see this now. Someone actually caring for...
Oh, fuck your mother. If she was...
I'll say...
I'm sorry. That was
No,
cool.
it's fine. She's the less cruel that I've come across. But you have to understand that not always is it their fault to be afraid of something so different. Those that look like me, or even worse, have put a very bad scar across this world, especially in Mendev. And those that consort with the likes of me, or therefore look even worse, are very worse. They do not know how to tell the difference. It's very sweet of you to care. But I am not worth the time, patience, or love that you're pouring in. The Arashtak and Narsilia and Karun and the other one.
Malavik. There is nothing more untrue that I have ever heard come from your lips. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of friendship. You are worthy of companionship. And for people to protect you as you protect them. Let us be there for you.
I do not doubt your sincere words, but you have yet... I put a hand on my shoulder. You have yet come to the reality of what it means to look like me. You will soon see. You said it yourself, dearest Yara, that you lost control. I wouldn't dare see you mow down countless humans or other because they fear me. We'll assess the situation. There's something you must know about me. I am too cursed, clearly, from birth. There are some things that I'm finding out about myself. Those that have a burning hatred towards me and express their means as so, I answer back with violence, and I cannot control it. The raging beast inside of me comes out and loses control. I have spent years on quelling that.
Then let us be there to help you quell it.
You have not been put in a
Please.
situation of so many at once. I will allow whatever you ask out of respect for you, but if it gets too much, I'll stare into your eyes. Put me down, and put me down fast, without delay. The compassion that you feel for me, that you say you do, needs to be out of love with a strike that can pierce my heart. There are, I would say rumors, legends have told that one that is born from such of a bloodline such as mine eventually become what they fear the most, or what they desire the most. I am not perfect. I desire power just as much as, well, more than your average person. I will eventually, more than likely, not be myself. You have to promise me that you will not hesitate. If I cannot come back.
All right.
Good.
But I would expect the same from you, should anything happen to me of any nature similar.
That's not fair.
To ask you to put someone down who is not themselves and cannot come back. That is what you are asking me.
You radiate a beauty beyond looks. There's something inside of you that I cannot explain, but I can sense it, of a divine order. I cannot see these hands harming you. Intentionally. You have to leave that task to someone else. Holding you back is one thing. Putting you down is another.
As a side, speaking of curses, I believe Arashtok is putting the finishing touches on the concoctions he was saying he could make.
Yes. I've heard. I do not want to partake in that. It's not tested. We do not know what memories may come up. It might be something that I ate 5 minutes ago. It could be something that unlocks something that's far more dangerous than it needs to be. I am, on the other hand, convinced that the missing moments is not a bad thing. That maybe it's protecting us from something we should not know. But you, on the other hand, from what I've heard, do not even know if your memories are true. You may not be who you think you are. That is probably why I sense such a pull towards you. So you need to be prepared. Take some time alone. Think this through. Know that who you are now, and that if you love who you are now, a memory may unlock something that's more devastating. You may not end up liking who you become, or what you find out. Clearly understand that this is, again, tampering with things that are not in the order that we have received them in. All right? But who is to hold back the great Yara from curiosity? Find your answers. But do know, the person you are today, I do cherish. And who you become will define you of how you take actions.
Fair enough, Malevich.
Good.
And I'll lightly elbow you. You're pretty okay yourself, darling. And I will walk off to rejoin Arashtok and anyone who's down there.
I'll watch as she walks off until I cannot see. I'll smirk. We shall see. And I'll keep watching in the distance, waiting for land to be seen.
Another day passes on the lake of mists and veils. You all have the opportunity to rest, and it is fairly uneventful. The night is cold. You feel those droplets of rain maybe turn into the occasional snowflake over the course of the next day. It's gray and bitterly cold. You go about your business on the Mermaid's Tears, and you hear the crew bracing as Captain Tinhill begins to spur them to work.
Avast, lads! We have ourselves a blizzard on the way. Bring down the mainsails. Get to work!
The crew begins to make their way around the ship and begins to ready yourselves. You can see the visibility has dropped. There is a sort of haze and that sort of whiteout effect as the snow begins to come down more severely as it gets later on into the day. It's almost evening or so now, I'd say. So very late afternoon, but it's been gray and kind of dark all day. It's one of those days when you wake up and you think that it's still nighttime out, but it's just one of those really dark mornings. And you've all kind of been experiencing that throughout the day before the crew has started to get to work here. It's been relatively calm the last day, so this is a bit jarring for you all, but you've experienced it the previous day as well. The sounds of squall now replaced by a blizzard. The winds have picked up. There's biting cold with any skin that's exposed to the air. You can feel that sort of those almost cutting winds sailing past you now as the waters get a little bit more rough and the winds kick up. Where are you all?
I'm trying to help with the sails and everything, trying to get to help them make it as smooth as possible.
Very well.
I've joined Malefic up on the deck.
I am below deck. I do not wish to be out in the cold if possible.
Very much the same as a Roshtok. I am bundled up below deck. I do not like this.
As you hear the crew moving about, there's a strange smell on the air. Everybody make a perception check.
25.
Success 31.
Correct.
28.
Okay.
Ooh, 2 crits.
Everybody recognizes the smell. It's a sort of strange, sweet smelling, almost earthy sort of smell, which is odd amongst the snow falling here on the lake. As the blizzard begins to kick up, begins to get difficult to see. You struggle to see past maybe 15 feet in front of you. The deck starts to get a little bit more difficult to walk on. Malefic and Arcelia. And as the smell begins to make you reminisce. You think about that large bubble that you saw and the strange vision that you had. That sweet-smelling breeze. Triggers something in each of your minds. Flashes from your visions. Standing next to each other, gazing at a gate. And much like your visions from yesterday, you inhale a lungful of this crisp, sweet-smelling air. Your mind is once more whisked away from the present. This time, though, there's no glowing gate in sight. Instead, your party is somewhere very cold and very desolate. You trudge together. Through an Arctic waste. In the middle of a snowstorm. Compelled by some unseen force to move toward an unknown destination. In your hands, you pull one end of a rope secured to a sled that trails behind your party. On the sled is the body of some large creature, hidden to you beneath a canvas tarp. Once again, Sakawachi stands at a distance, too far from you to do anything but watch. Ahead, a black spire stands before you. Just on the edge of the horizon, and as quickly the spire resolves itself to be a ship mast. Crunching snow beneath your feet yaws and rolls, and you are once more on the mermaid's tears, her sail flapping wildly in a strong and bitter wind. Each of you, please roll me a d3.
Two.
2.
1.
1.
Very well. As your vision subsides, you find yourselves once again on the ship's deck. This blizzard has worsened significantly. The gunwales are coated in ice, drifts of snow are piled by the doors leading below decks, and the lake churns with big, choppy waves. You can hear Captain Tinhill and the crew sort of yelling as you move about the decks. And the most pressing matter is a creature of elemental ice stands before you. I'm going to bring you over here. I need you to select your tokens as I drag them onto the map, and then we're going to have you roll initiative. Just give me a second here to position them. Okay. Karun was in 3. 2. Yara, you are in 1. Orashtak, you are in 1. Please select your tokens and roll initiative.
Got a 12.
21.
Natural 1 for 10.
Question, did we rest during that whole time or no?
Mm-hmm.
You did.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. As the blizzard itself seems to be made manifest, icy mist starts to bellow out from this creature as you stand around a little shaken and bewildered. Sakawachi off to the side, looking at each of you. I would like Arcelia to please make a perception check.
27.
Arcelia, when Sakawachi looks at you, you pick up just a hint of something for a second. I think you would recognize it as bewilderment and maybe betrayal as she looks at each of you. Now, I need to roll for initiative for this creature. Okay. And we need initiative for Karun and Sakawachi as well. Let's see here. Karun, where are you? You are up here. Okay. It is Karun's turn first. Okay. Karun looks around a bit confused. What was that? Was that like what happened before? Is that an ice cube? What is happening? You, lady with the visions, are you, is this, do you know what's happening? Are you, what is going on? Where's the rest of the crew? Karun is just gonna kind of ask questions for her entire turn. Not really understanding what's going on. As this happens, I would like everybody to be aware, while you are in this snowstorm, you are all taking a -2 penalty to any perception checks. You are taking a -2 penalty to any ranged attack rolls and any auditory perception checks. Any torches that you have are extinguished. So any of the torches that are around or lights that are around the ship have gone out. If you are standing on the deck and you move, something might happen. Okay. This creature will now take its turn. Okay. Nearest to it is Orashtak. Orashtak, this strange creature seemingly made out of ice, turns towards you. Immediately, you catch this chill. This long-fingered, clawed hand made of ice slashes towards you. That's a 35 to hit.
That's a crit.
Mm-hmm. That is for 36 slashing damage and 1 persistent cold.
I will use my reaction to raise my... nope, you're too far away, JK.
Okay, that's its first attack. Then it will slash again. That is a 19 to hit.
That hits, but not a crit.
For 15 slashing damage and another 1 persistent cold. As it attacks you, Arashak, you feel your flesh gets sliced, your scales separate, and the ice begins to spread from the wound as it will strike for a 3rd time. 17 to hit.
That barely misses.
Woo! That was a big damage. That was 20 slashing damage. That was a miss. Arashak, you barely managed to get your staff up in time to block the attack. Okay.
Yeah.
Sakuachi looks around a bit bewildered. She turns towards Karun. I do not know what this is. Perhaps this is another vision. Where is Taniki? She looks around a bit confused. The crew. And she will cast Bless. Okay. Malavik, it's your turn.
I'll look back towards Arcelia, which is very much different than I normally act, for a acknowledgement of my next actions.
As our eyes lock together, I will send a quick flash of what I saw on Sakuachi's face. That strange look of betrayal. Something is not right with her.
I want to clarify, since you rolled so high here, Arcelia, for this perception check.
Yes.
When she looked at you all, there was a look of maybe a touch of fear and a touch of betrayal on her face. When she looked at all of you.
I will essentially translate that over in a brief flash. What I saw is in your mind's eye.
I will quickly look towards Sakuachi, but only at a quick glance, and then push my attention towards this creature. And as I do that, I hear Arashak scream in pain multiple times.
I'll rage for my first action, and then I will take the step action to step closer, 5 feet towards this creature. Then I shall be flat-footed.
Okay.
Then I will
1 action left.
then strike it with my greatsword. But as I do this, raise my greatsword in the air, I dig deep. You see the spark starts to come between my nails in my hand and right up my blade as it catches fire. And I will swing with the draconic rage.
Do you need to... Does it cost you any extra actions or anything to activate your draconic rage? Okay.
No.
Fair enough.
I mean, the rage is, I just choose when, what type of rage I
It
want.
requires no action to do this.
No.
Okay. $24 is a hit.
I hit it for 30.
Yeah, okay.
Slashing.
However,
4 of it was fire.
However, Malavik, when you attack, you see the fire, before it even reaches, begins to melt away at this ice creature. And you hack into it hard with your sword. Like the sound of breaking glass, ice shatters and sprays in 5 feet all around the creature. I need reflex saves from Arashtak and yourself, please.
23.
Oh, God. 18.
Okay. Both of you fail. Arashtak.
Oh, yeah. Okay, 6. No.
You take 8 cold damage. Or, I'm sorry, piercing damage. Piercing damage. And Arashtak falls to the ground.
No.
Arashtak, you are dying 1. Malavik, you also take 8 piercing damage, and you are blinded as the ice hits you in the face.
Okay, so my temporary hit points took 6 of that.
Okay. I'm not sure what happens to the blinded condition when you are knocked unconscious, but I think, Arashtak, you are also blinded, in case you are brought back up.
Just over here.
Okay. Is that it for your turn?
Blinded. Okay. Yes.
Where you have struck at Malavik, you can see, like, the fire has sort of kind of like spread out and melted more than you expect from this creature.
With that vision, I'd send it directly to Arcelia. She can make of it what she wants. In a flash of me seeing that it did more damage, and then I was instantly blinded, so the vision was just literally a flash.
Okay. Arashtak. You are after that creature. Okay, Arcelia, it is your turn.
I wince at the blinding flash, reeling a bit from it. Karun, please look after Sakuachi. Something is not right.
I'm busy talking to Sakuachi. What is it? Can I help you?
I do not know what this is. Something is strange. And you can see Sakuachi is looking at you a bit oddly, Karun. Karun, make a perception check for me.
Very well.
Yeah.
It's a 28.
You maybe didn't pick up on it at first, but Sakuachi is sort of looking at you a bit hesitantly. There's a look of maybe fear on her face when she looks at you. A look of skepticism, like she doesn't seem to trust you in the moment. Regardless.
Look.
It is Arcelia's turn. Sorry.
Very well.
For my first action, I will rush over 5, 10, 15 feet to here. And as I'm rushing forward, I would like to use Exploit Vulnerability on this creature. An esoteric roll of 19.
Okay, that is a fail.
Alright. With a failure, I can only exploit the personal antithesis. So you see, I reach into one of my component pouches and I'm rubbing this almost iridescent sand onto the morning star that Yara gave me. And for my final action, I would like to swing my morning star.
Arcelia, I'm going to need you to make an acrobatics check first.
Okay. 14.
Okie dokie. You cannot reach the creature. You unfortunately begin to slip on the deck, and you can't get good footing. It's going to waste one of your actions.
All right. So then I will forego the Morning Star to move into this position as I'm slipping around. Oh, the floor is unstable.
Okay. Yara, it's your turn.
Oh, that is not good. I will go ahead and I will tap into my oracular curse in order to cast lifelink upon Arashtak and Arcelia, granting them both 10 healing. Arcelia, this obviously you're not hit, so this doesn't count for you. But it will raise Arashtak, or at least allow him to breathe another bit of air. Arashtak, can you hear me, darling? Alright. Excellent. From there, I'm going to go ahead and I will use battle medicine to treat wounds at an expert level on Arashtak for 22, so that is a success for 25 points of healing.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And for my last action, I'm going to cast Vision of Weakness. My eyes will flash a bright blue as I go ahead and look towards this creature. I get a chance to know any of its weaknesses, as well as three of its, which of its three is its lowest saving throw modifier. I'm not making an attack roll, so this is not going to count anyway. But yes, I get to know its weaknesses as well as its lowest saving throw.
Okay. There's no saving throw against this, right?
No.
Okay. Okay. So lowest saving throw modifier is reflex.
Reflex.
That's all you get, I think, right?
I also get if it has any weakness.
It is weak to fire.
Excellent. Darlings, target its reflexes! It's weak to fire! And that is my turn.
Very well. Harun.
Do I have any idea with my perception why the human doesn't trust me?
Not really. Everybody sort of experienced this strange vision beforehand. Just to restate this for you, as you were, you hadn't joined us yet. You had seen your party somewhere very cold and very desolate, and you were all trudging together through an Arctic waste in the middle of a snowstorm, compelled by some unseen force to move toward an unknown destination. And in your hands, you were pulling a rope secured to a sled that trailed behind your party. And on the sled was the body of some large creature hidden to you beneath a canvas tarp. Sakawachi was there at a distance, observing things, and there was some strange black spire on the horizon. Crunching snow beneath your feet, you saw the vision coalesce into another sight of you on the upper deck of the ship. Time had seemingly passed, and a snowstorm that was on the horizon increased in its intensity, and now this strange snow elemental-like creature had come before your party.
Very well. Before I deal with Sakawachi, I will be absolutely hearing the word fire and reacting accordingly. You said fire?
Yes, darling, fire!
Right.
Sure. You chuck some of your lesser alchemist fire, which unfortunately doesn't hit, but being the alchemist that you are, the splash blasts napalm that manages to connect with the creature, and you can see that is especially effective as it lands upon it. It recoils in what you assume to be pain.
I would like to pull out another one and just look at Sakoachi and say, "Tell me about the spire!"
I do not know what it is.
What of the creature under the tarp?
She says nothing.
What is your game, human?
Anything else on your turn, Karun?
Is it possible to intimidate her?
Yeah, go for it. Make an intimidation check.
24.
Oh boy. She says to you, "You will tell me when this is done."
Is that how intimidation works?
You can see she's very scared.
Oh, it did work.
Mm-hmm. She is very scared.
All right. Very well. We'll consult
Intimidation
you
doesn't mean necessarily that you get what you want.
That's true.
You can see that you have definitely scared Sakoachi.
Little human, please. Oh, all right. We will deal with you after the thing. Don't panic. I will take cover and that is my turn.
Okay. Arash talk.
From the ground, I summon up some bugs for a life boost upon myself.
You can see several of them, like, emanating from various bits of your clothing, like, sort of flying around. Some are immediately, like, impacted by the cold. You can see, like, several of them, like, like falling off.
Mechanical question, because I don't actually know. I know this begins at the start of the turn. If I cast it on someone else, does it work on the same term as I cast it if it's on myself? That might be a ruling you make, because I don't know how fast healing works in that regard. It's considered fast healing, mechanically.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to look it up quickly. I'm not sure.
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna say no, because the start of your turn happened before you cast it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I figured I'd ask. Okay. That is totally fine. All right.
You're also prone, and
yes,
you are, you do have persistent cold damage that will happen at the,
end of the turn, yes. Okay, I figured. Well, you know what doesn't matter about being prone? When I become a bug on the ground already, I begin to elongate and grow extra legs. As I become a scorpion, my tail whips up into a curve with a pincer point. And I begin to change.
I've just been told that it does happen, I guess, immediately upon casting.
All right.
Okay.
I will accept this.
Question is, do we have a cool insect icon to give you? Because I'm not changing it out. Can I just give you an insect icon? We gotta have one. Come on, baby. Can't just give you a skull.
Good old Bagrosh talk.
We need the bugs.
Let's see. I think we'll use this one. This is normally for dark vision, but it's kind of spooky, so we'll just give you that.
Very nice.
Okie
Now
doke.
I want to note with this, I have imprecise tremor sense. I don't need to see now.
Okie dokie.
And that is my turn.
Okay. Also, just as a reminder, and this is my fault for not letting Karun know, but any of your ranged attacks are essentially taking a -2 penalty. Your perception checks are taking a -2 penalty. And a creature that is 15 feet away is basically concealed by this falling snow, this blizzard that is happening right now. Okay. Is that it for your turn, Arashok?
Yes.
Alrighty. This blizzard-born creature makes no sense to try and do that. Okay. It will, I think, probably strike towards Malavik, since Malavik has done quite a bit of damage to it. An Ice Claw attack headed your way, Malavik. 29 to hit.
Say it. Not a great.
Okay. And this will be for 12 slashing damage and 6 persistent cold damage. Wherever the claws rake against your skin, you can see like ice crystals beginning to form. You can see anybody that's around Malavik, that fire that sort of has erupted almost dies down a little bit in these intense, in this intense cold. It's
Does this happen initially or in the next turn?
So it's on at the end of your turn. You get the persistent cold damage. Okay. Second attack. 28 to hit.
Yep. See.
And this is for an additional 5 persistent cold damage on top of 14 slashing damage.
I will raise my amulet here to reduce the damage by 7.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, how long does this blindness last?
Blindness.
That has been inflicted?
Ah, yes. Blindness is blindness. Lasts for 1 round.
1 round. All right. So he already.
So
it would be
Arashok,
this
yours
turn.
is gone. And Malavik. When Malavik's turn, I think, comes back up, I think it's over.
All right.
Or at the... This creature went before Malavik. He got blinded. No, he got blinded when he attacked. So this is going to be... His blind ends at the end of his turn.
Ah, excellent. Okay.
Yes. Okay. And then the third attack. And that is a miss with 9.
I'll instinctually just slash my sword out, rubbing my eyes and the spots that I was hit.
How much is the benefit from the blinding? It's not enough for you to get hit, right? Yeah, it's -4.
No, I have.
2 perception checks, and that's it, right?
Yeah, it's not AC.
Okay. Alrighty. That is it for the creature's turn. Sakuachi will get away from Karun. And
I let her go.
yeah, will try to I think just kind of take cover at the edge of the boat She doesn't seem to want to get close to any of you. And she just takes cover. Malavik.
So, wait. Do I have to make a roll for this persistent, or is it just...
It's at the end of your turn for the persistent. If you would like to
Yes.
try and get rid of the persistent damage, you can try to do that. It's basically like trying to get the ice off of you.
Yeah, I will try to
It'll
stoke
require
it.
2 actions.
Yep.
I will try to stoke the... And this does not count against... this is not... Wait, does this count against attack actions, or no? This is me trying to put it out.
This is
correct?
2 actions that you're using to try and get rid of the...
Correct, but is
persistent.
it... So if I attack at the end, does it affect that attack, or no? Okay. Yeah, I will try to stoke the inner fires inside of me. I will bunker down and essentially try to get in touch with my inner demon, so to speak, and put these fires out. Put this ice out. What do I need to roll? Looking at this block attack. So
Yeah, there's so much.
I summarized it. It says after you take damage, you will then roll to see if it goes away.
I think it's just a flat
Oh.
D20.
Yeah, DC 15 flat D20.
also have to wait till I take damage.
No. You can do it right now.
Oh, okay.
You're doing assisted recovery, which you can help yourself or an ally can help you to do it.
All right, 12.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just checking here. Okay. Where did you see that the DC was 15? Rashtak? I'm seeing
that
something
is-
else.
Yeah,
That's at the
that's the
top of it.
DC for the standard attempt at recovery after you take persistent damage. Yes, it says after you take persistent damage, roll a DC 15 flat check to see if you recover.
Right at the top, that last sentence above the persistent damage rules. It says, after you take persistent damage, roll a DC 15 flat check to see if you recover from the damage.
Oh, so it's not a...
Oh, so
yeah, so
not 2 actions.
Okay.
This is
All right,
assisted recovery is something different.
If he does not succeed, yes.
Gotcha.
It's a free check, but or not. It's an extra check on top of
So
the
an
other.
But
ally.
you can prevent yourself from taking it if you do it beforehand.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I failed, so...
Well,
Okay.
it says it's up to the GM what they want the DC to be here. Using the following guidelines, the action might require a skill check or another roll to determine effectiveness, yada yada yada.
Okay. So, I think you already committed to this, and you were trying to clear off the ice. You have fire that is sort of part of your rage. I think the DC will be 10 for this. So, you can use those 2 actions. You stop the persistent cold damage, and you sort of catch your breath for a second. You still have 1 action left. You are still blinded until the end of your turn.
Slow down. I sort of raise the my heart rate, and then I will pull my sword back towards the ground and go for an upward swing towards this creature where I remembered where it was before and the feeling of combat, and I will swing with Draconic Rage. 17.
17. You strike just kind of blindly, and you just completely whiff. Arcelia probably you dodge back as you see Malavik's greatsword approaching you. His eyes sort of covered in frost, slowly melting away. After he swings, Malavik kind of blinks, and you see the frost dissipate from around his eyes.
It's the end of my turn.
Okie doke. Arcelia, it's your turn.
As I dive down, trying to duck out of the way of his wayward sword, I will attempt to do exploit vulnerability again. 27.
Ooh. That is a success.
All right. I will learn its highest weakness, which is fire, but then I'll also learn the number.
5.
Very good. With that, I begin to pull out more of this sparkling dust, and I will smear it onto the Morning Star. I will activate its mortal weakness with this success here. And I will attempt to swing.
Okay, a 25 is a hit.
Okay. Then I will do 10 bludgeoning damage, plus 2 empowered, plus 5 fire.
Okay, now. Is that plus 5 on top of the weakness that it has? Like, does
no,
it
is
stack?
the weakness.
Okay, gotcha.
No, it is the weakness. Yeah. So I do not get the plus 3 for personal antithesis. I'm replacing that with the plus 5 instead.
You smack it with the Morningstar. You begin to see cracks develop, and as you connect, there's a small fireball that erupts, and you see chunks of this thing just kind of sliding off and falling to the ground.
In this moment of weakness, as it reels, I will strike again as hard as I can. 23.
That is a... It is flat-footed, so that is a hit because you are in melee and it is still flat-footed. Yes, okay, that is a hit.
I smash the Morningstar down. I do an additional 9 plus the 5 weakness.
Okay. Yet again, Arcelia strikes it. More spider web cracks crawl up this this snow and ice creature. It seems to recoil in pain.
As I swing with all of my body weight, my features take on a likeness to Malavik when he is in rage. You see that I am filled with bloodlust and a single-minded purpose, but that will be the end of my turn now.
Yara.
Now, when a creature is flat-footed, its AC overall is reduced by 2, yes?
For melee attack.
So I'm reading flat-footed right now, and it does not say that range is not applicable.
It does someplace. I'm positive.
Yes. Unfortunately, I've read.
All right. All right, because I also have a forum open as well. They were talking about it too, but we can figure that out at another time, I suppose. Anyhow, I will go ahead and I will place a hand upon myself and cast guidance, and afterwards I will conjure up flame in my hands, but it is a bright light of flame as I cast at 3rd level Searing Light.
I wonder if that's related to the new rules or not. Because we've looked at this before, and it was
it's
like...
It's flat-footed due to flanking that isn't affected by range. Flat-footed in general is affected by flanking, from range, if it's not from flanking.
There you go.
All right. Well, let me see here. You know what? I will use a hero point, as I would like to re-roll that 21 here.
Okay.
Let's see here. Just so I don't have to add everything. Let's do that. All right. It doesn't hit anyway. I go wide.
Yara activates her Iron Man circle in the center of her chest, and a beam of light shoots out, and it just like misses completely.
That is my turn.
Okay. Haroon.
I would throw another alchemist fire at it.
Alrighty.
I feel kind of bad.
Okay. So Karun, this is a 24 to hit, but you're trying to see through this blizzard, and it is considered concealed. So only the splash damage will actually happen here. And you just kind of hear something connect in the distance, but it is not a direct hit.
Very well. I will take cover. Is it possible to examine Sakuachi for anything else?
In what way?
Is she just cowering? Or is she doing something?
She's away from the group. She's you recognize that she casts like kind of like bless, but she hasn't done anything to sort of spread it to the rest of you. She's just, it seems like she's trying to stay away from you and the fight.
All right. Sakuachi, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to frighten you. I will take cover, and that's my turn.
Okay, you can make a diplomacy check.
Oh, all right. 3.
Goes about as well as you can expect. after you like tried to intimidate Sakuachi into like telling you something, she goes to cower off to the side of the ship and, come here, it's okay.
Psst, 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 psst,
Yeah.
it's all right.
Just after you scream at her. She doesn't seem very receptive. Okay.
Very well.
The rest of you would have seen the sort of napalm from the alchemist fire spread, and it definitely melted like a good chunk away from this creature.
Yes. I would like to attack, specifically with my pincer, not my pincer, my tail. The nice poisonous tail I have. And that.
What creature did you turn into, by the way?
A scorpion.
Oh, okay.
I am a medium-sized scorpion.
So terrifying.
Still can talk, to my knowledge. It just sounds horrible. My little mandibles.
Yeah. The horrible clacking sound.
It's fine. All right. Aha! That's 28 to hit.
That is a hit.
And that. Let me double check here. I'm gonna roll these separate because I don't know how they'll affect it. It is 1d8 damage, so 2 damage. Wait, did that do?
You did a d20, 1d8.
That's not right, thank you.
I feel like you rolled... Yeah, just
It
roll a
rolled
d8.
Yeah. 7 damage, plus...
What kind of damage is it? Bludgeoning?
This is piercing.
Piercing, okay.
And then, if it is susceptible or can take poison damage, it has 1 persistent poison now. I figured not, but I'd at least specify.
Unfortunately not. It does take the 7 the piercing damage, however.
Yes. And I will attack one more time. I'll do the plus 13 minus 5, so plus 6. Nope. 13 minus 5. Oh, my math is off right now.
13 minus 5?
8. Plus 8. There we go.
And
a 20 to hit.
Okay.
And I do have the tremor sense.
That is a miss on that one.
Okay, I figured.
Okay,
and
then I need you to make a flat You take 2 persistent cold damage, and you...
After my last action.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was... My bad.
No, I take a step back 1.
Okay.
And now I will do the,
2 persistent cold and roll a flat d20.
A 6. It stays.
Okay. I gotta actually roll myself. I totally forgot. Okay. Persistent fire damage. Okay. I actually... It's okay. We can leave that. Okay. Because it would have been gone and then it would have came back. Okay. Okay. So yes, the persistent cold damage stays. And that is it for your turn. Blizzardborn. Still sort of mindlessly attacking Malavik. It will strike with its ice claws towards you. You can see this thing has all kinds of cracks in it now. Several chunks of like ice and snow have fallen off of it. It definitely looks fucked up. 24 to hit Malavik.
What's a hit?
This will be for 15 slashing damage and 6 persistent cold.
You'll see me kind of slump over a little bit, but not. Doesn't wave at me too much.
Second attack, a 29 to hit. This time for 19 slashing damage.
I will raise my amulet and reduce it by 7.
Then you will definitely see me slump over.
Okay, and an additional 2 more persistent cold damage. And the third attack is a miss with a 9. Swaying, Malavik dodges out of the way of the third attack, just barely. You can see the greatsword, his hands sort of frozen over. There's just this rime of cold, as well as the fire that is erupting. There's a steam that is just kind of boiling off of Malavik as you see the ice and fire just kind of contending with each other. You can hear little pops, like little explosions going off from the difference in temperature. Sakawachi will continue to cower and stay out of this fight, as well as take cover. Malavik, it's your turn.
I'm just respond with it's not a very accurate sword strike. I'm just gonna recklessly swing.
Sorry, hang on 1 second. Take more damage. You can see, I mean, this thing is like the napalm from Karun's alchemist fire is like burning. You see like chunks of this thing falling off. I just have to roll to see if it goes away at the end of its turn. Yes, it does. Okay. Sorry, your turn.
25.
How do you destroy it, Mel?
I think lumbering forward, I just throw my whole body weight into it so much that I'll go through it and land right in front of Arashtak. I think the sword will stop right between his legs as it hits the deck and buries itself inside the ship.
There's a sound like shattering glass as the bits ting, 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 fall all around the deck. And as they do, this scene around you begins to fall away. Mermaid's tears. And the crew look on. All of them sort of staying away from each of you. Looking on in bewilderment. As the snow continues to fall
to the deck.
Are you all right? I will look over my companions. Arash talk first, then Malavik.
I'm taking the time as I form back into my lizard self to scrape off all of the ice.
Karun has a little piece of hardtack and is sort of squatting down a bit and offering it, just like pss, 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 pss.
To Sakawachi?
Sakawachi is food, yes.
She looks at you. She looks at you like warily. She says, "I do not want your food."
Oh. Right. Well,
I
is
am
everything
not
all right?
some sort of animal. Do not treat me as such.
All right. Sure. Question. Do you know anything about the vision, or... Because you're acting very suspicious.
She closes her mouth and she says, "Why don't you tell me about it?"
I don't know what that means.
She looks towards the rest of you. And she says, "Is everyone all right?"
Now I am, yes.
I am fine. And you would see me already kneeling over, treating Malavik's wounds. What happened?
Smelled something sweet. Like the bubble.
Captain Tinhill begins to approach. "Are all of you all right?"
Once I'm certain that my companions are safe, I will make my way over to Sakawachi and sit down next to her. I think we are all right, Captain. Something strange happened again. It was like the bubble we passed through, carried on a sweet wind.
You all were acting strangely again. Seemingly unaware of your environment. Moving about the ship. It was strange. I sought to make the crew prepare for the snow and blizzard. And yet, you all seem distant. Inigi rushes up to Sakawachi. "Can you hear me now?" "Yes. Yes, Tanigi, I can. I'm all right. What happened? Is it another one of those strange visions?" "Perhaps." Sakawachi looks to all of you. "Perhaps something more."
I think we have as many questions as you do. We do not know the answer or the meaning of any of this. Strange this time that Denigi was not there. What did you see, Sakawachi, that we did not?
As Arcelia's asking this question, I'll put my hand on Yara's leg and weakly point towards Sakawachi's face. There it is. That's the look I'm used to. Only a matter of time. And I'll fall silent.
Did you all see a spire?
A mast.
That turned into a mast, yes.
Yes, and I saw a creature in a tarp. I couldn't make out what it was, but I think Sakawachi in my vision knew. But the human will not talk to me. I have someone with human skills. Should speak to her.
It felt as though we were compelled, not of our own agency. I do not know what was under the tarp. I do not know what it was that drew me forward.
What was it you asked just before Arcelia?
What do you mean?
I thought you had asked a question, I'm sorry.
Did Sakawachi see something that we did not? She was not among us, with us. She was looking at us.
From
It
a
just-
distance.
Makes
From a
me
distance,
suspect
yes.
that she knows something.
Please, Sakawachi. You know that we just want to help. And we can't do it without you.
Please make a diplomacy check.
Okay.
Take
Is there
some
any way
food.
one of us might be able to... Oh, never mind. I was going to say assist her, but you rolled well, so fuck that.
27.
I do not think this was merely a vision. From what you
The
have
pain.
told us, I believe that this happened. You speak of this missing moment. I think you are all there.
There, as it. We are not here currently. There, as in the
Vision
missing
of the
moment
past,
when we were
as it were.
what we were doing in a missing moment. And again, I'll squeeze Yara's leg. Some things we do not want to remember.
This spire, do any of us recall if it has any similarities to the one that I saw in my vision?
You-
Erasmus?
So, make a religion check.
31.
Definitely does not. The two seem different completely. But when you think about that, you think about the spire, and you visualize the spire, this place you have been before, Yar. You know they are different, and it reminds you of that place once again. And there is a moment where you see Yara's eyes go white. Yara. The boat fades away. Storm fades away. You find yourself before Pharasma. Strange mirror to your current appearance. Different, similar. This look is reminiscent of what Duskwalkers are. The ash-colored skin, white hair, as if the color has been drained from you. Pharasma looks upon you. You feel strange disconnect from your body. It feels almost numb, but there's still just that barest sensation of feeling, as if you have been to the dentist office almost, right? That sort of barely there feeling that you know something is touching your skin, or you know that something is there, but it feels distant. There is a room full of other creatures around you. A sort of conference is taking place. And what of her sister? Her fate has not yet been decided. What is it that you will, great Pharasma? Balance. Both were taken unjustly. And so a balance must be struck. We must discover the source. A second chance, perhaps. And the sister. We shall. The scene fades, Yara. You take a breath, and you see everyone else concerned looking at you.
Yara. Yara!
I'm sorry. Now, to be clear...
You're alright. If dealing with me is too much for you, I'll just move.
No. Just... one moment. I'll shake my head. To be clear, the spire that we saw is different from Pharasma Spire, and this scene took place in Pharasma Spire.
Yes. It
Right.
reminded you
Yes.
of something that is in your past.
I do not know if it is relevant to now. It's... I just had a vision. I was back in the spire I told you of. The Pharasmas. It was a conference of sorts to decide my fate and that of my sister, I suppose. I'm sorry. The two are not related, if that is of any help. It is a different spire entirely.
But I do think... I'm sorry. You see,
Does any of this mean anything to you, Sakuachi?
I do not know of what you speak.
So the spire is not recognizable in your memory either, Sakuachi.
As we speak of these things, I will break out my journal and begin to sketch out the different things that I saw. The spire, the path that we were taking with the covered cart.
Make a crafting roll. Sakuachi doesn't answer your question.
I have a question. We weren't in a bubble visually this time, correct? It was just the blizzard? And last time I determined it wasn't magic that had affected us, but rather the hallucinogenic oil. More or less. Because it wasn't dispellable. I know, or at least I noticed it had no effect.
It is biological in nature.
So this one, I'm trying to think and rack my brain on anything in the occult that may have to do with this. A creature's effect, perhaps. Something that isn't magical but can still affect the mind. Psychic effects are not usually considered magic. Is there anything I could roll? I'm just trying to whittle down in my mind.
Yeah, Arcana, I think.
I'm going to re-roll it.
Okay. An 18 you rolled?
18, yes. Do it 20.
Okay. Of course, spend your hero point. And I think it's one of those occasions where there's many possibilities where you wouldn't be able to necessarily whittle them down with the information that you have.
Too many possibilities. You would just see Arashtak mumbling to himself, kind of going over what happened.
Sakuachi, could you at least explain to us why it is you are so mistrusting of us in this moment? Could cut the tension with a knife.
She bites her lip. I do not know if I can trust you.
Dude. Priceless.
But what is it that we have done?
She furrows her brow. She's struggling with something.
Sakuachi, it is you that said, and it was your words, that you believe we were fated to meet. That it was by design that we worked together.
Our paths align and all the hogwash that they spilled. Now they look at us as if we're the enemy that was just aboard this ship.
For your actions! For what you have done!
We saved your
because
friends!
of the way that you look! For what you have done!
Yes.
Which is?
Sakuachi, we genuinely do not know. Last I remember, we saved your friends.
She looks towards Denigi. Denigi's a bit wide-eyed, obviously confused herself by this situation. She looks to Sakuachi. Saku, what is wrong? Sakuachi says one word. Eine Muren. Denigi furrows her brow and then raises her brow. A bit startled. What? I will take an esoteric lore roll here. I will warn you, it will be extremely difficult.
Okay. Plus 13, don't fail me now. Ha! I'm gonna reroll that. Ha! 19.
You don't know what that is. Could be anything.
What? Denigi, what does that mean?
Nigi's comforting Sakuachi, who is obviously scared and worried. Nigi says, Danigi holds up a hand and says, "Give us some time."
We will stay here.
She takes Sakuachi below deck.
If they are this mistrusting after a vision we shared, why travel with them? We have proven ourselves time and time again. I do not wish for companions that will throw all experiences away.
It is
at the
my
risk of
theory.
ourself.
It is my theory that they too are under some spell or enchantment. Perhaps it is also biological in nature.
I do not know if it is biological. I was running through many different potential situations that would cause this. There are many. It could be psychic. It could be magical, but a different type. Could be biological, but there was no bubble this time.
But the sweet wind.
Yes.
There was wind.
Yes.
And we did not exactly divine the cause because of the violence from the Red Duchess. It could
I
be
will say.
related.
I was holding a rope for the sails of the mast before that smell came through. When I came to, when it became a little bit clearer, I was holding a rope to something else. The ice between my hands felt real. The steps we took felt familiar. I didn't skip a beat. None of us did. We continued on with whatever was happening. I do not believe that is just a vision.
No.
I believe that Sakuachi was witnessing something that we have probably done. We do not know. I was telling Yara earlier that sometimes remembering things may not open doors that we want to be open. You know, if we think hard, spire of the one that Yara speaks of is of a god, no?
That is a separate one, yes.
Correct, but there was a spire of revisitation, let's call it, may be of a god as well. Though they are not connected, it's similarly in that nature. The gods may have spires erected in their stead, which means that we may have been doing something going towards some said spire. Maybe what we were doing was something that we are trying to prevent.
I mean, the only way that this gets resolved, the only way that if we have done something horrible, that we may atone for it is if we are made aware of such a thing.
Well, the humans are talking. Can I do an alchemical analysis of the snow?
Sure. Make a crafting check. 21.
21.
Okay. There's more of that oily substance in the snow.
And guys, it appears there's more of this oil here in the snow.
In the snow?
Looks that way.
Aerosolized.
You know, now that I think about it, both instances happened right before a storm.
Someone causing storms.
The squall before the bubble, and the squall now before the wind.
But why did it not affect Denigi? But yet it affected those pirates that we ran into.
Tanigi was below deck.
We were too. And Deniki was Deniki affected the first time?
I would like to remind you all that we wear the mark of pawns. Do you not remember? I do not believe that Deniki wears this mark as well. Only Sakawachi who is affected with us.
And it may not be biological, but rather connected to the gates and the moment.
Do you not understand, everyone? Why are you so blinded? We are in a game. We are pawns to these gods. That is what's happening.
Always were, Malevich.
But now we can feel even more special since we were chosen. Unfortunately, we are playing right into their hands.
Denigi and Sakawachi return above deck. Sakawachi sort of holding her head down a little bit. As she approaches, she says, I apologize. I thought I saw something during the vision. I cannot remember what it was.
Can we clock whether or not she is being truthful in this moment? Because she seemed very inflamed.
Make a perception check.
16.
16. She's definitely calmed down. She seems to be addressing you straightforwardly, from what you can tell. I am not quite sure what I saw, and I can remember less.
Very good. Then I have a follow-up question for you, Denigi. Do our paths still align, as you believe? Or have you swayed your mind to think differently?
They look at each other, Denigi and Sakawachi, and Denigi speaks up and says, Saku still believes that we are on the same path. I agree.
Good. There's a reason why I asked you and not her, and I'll turn to Sakawachi. Then you will do anything to figure out what's going on, correct?
Yes.
Very good. Arashtak, have you prepared?
Yes, I do believe so. I can only trust the cook Smokey that this recipe is effective. It would.
Sakawachi. Arashtak is the best cook I know. I have trusted him. I have struck out at Arashtak, almost putting them down, and they still travel with me. Trust has become a thing that was earned over time. It may not even be fully earned, but I do trust Arashtak in the means of seeing through what they believe in. So with that, Arashtak may have means for you to remember. Will you take the first plunge into this memory?
I do not understand what you are saying.
The cook of this ship had a recipe called Memories Once Lost. It puts you in a trance-like state and helps recall what is lost. I have made a number of doses. I intended it for us to remember what was in the lost moment. Its taste is vile, though. Do not judge my cooking by it.
Denigi steps up and says, I will do this first.
Do you have a missing moment? And I point to my neck with the symbol.
No, but I will make sure that this is safe.
Fair enough.
I will
can
put my
take it
hand on
myself.
Nigi's. Your intention is honorable, but we have limited doses, and I believe we would much rather one of us test it.
I will take it in front of you, in full, to make sure that it is indeed safe. If that is acceptable for trust.
What do you imagine that this food looks like? What is it? What do you think it is?
I tried to prepare it like a stew. It is a bit thick and viscous. It does have some fats from animals as one of the ingredients. There is no meat. There are no vegetables, except perhaps some root starches, as well as some spices and herbs. The fats are the chunks you see floating. And of course there is the oil that is hallucinogenic as the main catalyst.
I'm
And yes, I
imagining
pronounced that wrong.
something a cross between taro and tapioca.
Yes, it has that terrible sheen of oil and fat glistening in it as it sloshes a bit more than something viscous should. I have put them in potion vials, the wide-mouthed kind, that it may be gulped.
He carries wide-mouthed mason jars. Such a millennial.
I'm a witch, what do you expect?
Lots of pickles.
Okay. Arashtak, you drink this?
I look at all of them with holding it out as I've uncorked it. I do not know what will happen.
Perhaps. It looks towards Yara. Perhaps you want to be the one to test it over Rashtak. Just because of the conversation we had earlier.
What were you going to say, Rashtak?
I do not wish to put risk on others first for something I have made.
Well, if anything goes wrong, that is fine. I will be able to treat you.
I do hope so.
But I do wish to try it.
I have doses for everyone.
Yes.
Provided I survive with no ill effects.
Before you ingest that, is there a way that we can make you regurgitate if we need to? I do not know the
yes,
biology
I
of
mean-
your people.
Oh, right. That's different. Can I make you throw up with the finger method?
What?
Just sticking my fingers down your throat. It typically works.
Humans have a gag reflex.
Do you not have one?
No,
there a way we
usually
can empty
swallow
your
food
stomach?
whole.
Oh.
Okay.
I choose to chew because it is more pleasant, but normally... you might have to hit me hard in the gut.
Ah,
Alright.
very good.
I can do that, but only if we need to.
Yes.
I'll be right here. And I
Choking
will...
for a lizard is normally tongue lolling out. I do not foam like mammals.
Ah, very good. Well, hopefully, at least I can help you a tiny bit in ingesting it. And I will cast guidance upon him.
Thank you. As Dronis had said, I think, bottoms up. I do not know why we raise our tails to drink. And pour it entirely down my gullet. Vile.
Nothing seems to happen immediately, Arash.
Nothing yet.
Perhaps you need to enter a trance or sit down, meditate.
I can do that, and if that does not work, it may be something that happens once we sleep after digestion. But I will meditate with my queen.
If meditation doesn't work, I can always knock you out too.
Well, is Smokey here still?
Smokey would be like down in the galley, basically, of the ship.
Perhaps we could ask him.
Yes, and I'd prefer to do my meditation not on the deck. My little friends do not like the weather out here so much.
Nobody likes the weather out here.
We should get all out of the snow if it's got traces of the oil.
I begin to make my way below deck.
Yes, I will be following and making it a point to inquire with Smokey if there needs to be any sort of a trance or if it's supposed to be something that takes place immediately.
Yeah. Basically what Smokey has conveyed to you is that this recipe sort of varies a bit depending on the ingredients that you use. It could be an hour before anything happens, allowing your body to kind of digest. Sometimes it can take longer. Make a fortitude save for me, please, Arashtak.
24.
Plus 1.
25, thank you.
Yeah. Nothing happens for a while. Do you begin your meditation?
I do. I set up my mosquito candles and begin to summon my friends from presumably me and my robes. I don't think anyone's figured out where they actually come from. And they swirl about me as I begin to pray to the mosquito witch.
Okay. Nothing happens for a while. About like an hour passes. What are you all doing while this is going on?
I am below deck with a sample of the snow, and I am attempting to use different types of paper, infused papers, to see if it's possible to craft something that can give us an early warning if we are exposed to this oil.
Okay. Make a crafting roll for me. I will also require...
It's a 32.
Okay, that's awesome. I will also require, I think... Get a perception check, I think.
It is a 22.
Okay. Karun, you think you can whip something up, almost like a barometer, that kind of thing, to sort of give you a little bit of warning ahead of time. With a 32, you think you can maybe get a few minutes of warning.
Good. I will share my invention with anyone who is around.
Just so you are aware, this isn't, you don't just like instantly do this. This is, you have the idea, you understand how to do it based on the stuff that you have. It'll take you a little while to craft this. This isn't like done in an hour.
Then I am not telling a soul what I am doing. I am simply in the corner fiddling with things.
Sure.
Mumbling to myself.
Okay. And what about the rest of you?
Like to make a point of directing everyone off of the deck, especially Sakuwachi and Denigi, if the snow is tainted.
Yeah, it doesn't take much convincing. The ghost crew remains at their posts and basically is continuing work. And one of the reasons, the ship is very fast. You've been making very good time across this lake, and the main reason for that is they don't stop working. They're they're just 24/7 sailing the ship. So constantly the sails are as full as they can be regarding the storms and such that you've encountered. But you've been making very good time across this lake. Like 4 days to make this trip that's very impressive.
And once I've completed that, I will stand watch over Arashtak to make myself available if he needs me.
Okay.
Yes, I will be working on Malavic's remaining wounds, and close by, I would assume, so that I'm able to react to anything having to do with the Rosh talk. This is going to be about an hour, so I'm not sure if you'd like me to roll for anything, or if you want me to just...
Whatever normal stuff you have to do for your treat wounds or whatever.
Excellent, alright. 29 points of healing. Does that bring you to maximum?
No. But thank you.
You got pretty hurt.
Well, we have an hour.
Yeah.
We have an hour, so I'll go ahead.
One more decent one will.
Right, that one would not work. Although I think you can... I'll just roll another one. Alright, you would be fully healed by now, I would assume. And with my remaining time, I will be refocusing so that my curse goes back down to minor. So that would be about 40 minutes, I think.
Okay. Arcelia, as you are watching over a Rosh talk over the course of the next hour, I think you notice a few things. There's Rostock, are you related to is there any relation to like chameleons in your DNA, do you think?
Yes, actually, there is. Not mine tribe, but there are lizard folk that have ways to camouflage themselves naturally.
Okay. So there's like a there's some discoloration that happens in a Rostock's scales here and there. Slight stuff that you notice. You can see that Rostock is breathing a little heavy. Something is definitely happening after like an hour or so.
I will not disturb him, and if anyone comes up to disturb him, I will gently wave them off, give them a nod.
Rostock, please roll a flat d20 for me.
2.
Okay. Rostock, what did you see in the gate when you made your way in?
I saw the queen, Mosquito Queen. I'd met her once before, but I saw her there beckoning me, promising me knowledge. Not divine knowledge, but knowledge of how to become more than just a lizard folk. Become something more primal, primeval. Closer to a dragon, almost.
Anyone else would see something different in the gate if they were observing what you saw. They would have seen this mass of mosquitoes, an oddly, vaguely humanoid shape amongst them. Amongst the rain of the swamp, you see the Mosquito Queen beckon you inside the gate. You feel yourself moving forward, compelled by this potential power. You make your way towards the gate. You step through. Roll me a perception check.
I will re-roll that with a hero point.
Natural 1.
From a crit fail. 16.
Rashtak, you see something similar to what you saw in your vision. You see others. Groups of people. A tundra lies before you. Everyone is strangely detached. Instead of rain, now you see snow falling. There is a strange smell in the air. Hold your hand out. You see dust, ash, something fall into your hand. Spores. You think something bad is happening. You begin to cover your mouth, but you feel like it's already too late. You've already breathed them in. And you hear this keening sound. This bass-filled sound. Sound like none you've ever heard before. It sounds like an animal that's too far away. It sounds like it's in water, distant. Everyone's head turns. You feel yours move as well. And you lose yourself in the moment. You find yourself back in your meditative pose, but you're breathing heavily. Arcelia is shaking you.
Rashtak. Rashtak. Are you alright?
I saw a piece of inside the gate. I heard the wail. We were in the tundra, the crowds. There was a spore that was in the air. We breathed in. And the cry of a whale, I think. Deep, echoing, reverberating, as though it was deep in water. Maybe under the tundra. Are we in the north?
Arcelia, you've been watching Rashtak sort of go through something. You've seen him sort of affected by whatever it is that he saw, to the point where you were a little worried about him, and then slowly over time he was convulsing periodically as if he was coughing, trying to force something up, and then passed. About another hour or so has passed since this began happening.
I will take you into my arms and hold you. You were shaking, Rashtak. As if something were trying to leave your body.
Spores.
When you get sick, you have like the flu or you cough a lot, you can feel that fatigue that kind of happens, right? That's the way your body feels now, Arashtak. Like you've been exercising, but you haven't been.
I am exhausted. I was trying to get the spores out. We may have something infecting us. I need to rest.
Darkness is approaching outside, the rest of you.
I think we could all use a rest.
May you bring me to a hammock?
I will help you that way.
The other doses are in my bag of holding. I do not sense any ill effects aside from the heavy fatigue. Oh, it is good you watched me.
I took notes, observations. There was discoloration, tremors, and I will also share any other symptoms that I noticed during my watch.
Discolorations, how so?
Patches of your scales had shifted in color, darker, mottled almost.
I am not.
You seem fine now.
Some lizard folk tribes may change their scale color, but I am of the swamp, not of that kind. Perhaps it is a shared DNA. Shared genetics, maybe. I am too tired to think.
Don't let it trouble you.
I could not focus as well as I'd like. Perhaps another could see better in recollection. I felt a bit disconnected, and that I was missing something. But I don't know what. And I do not know what happened after I heard the animal cry. If it was indeed an animal.
I will take out my journal and write these things down.
I'm sorry, I need to rest.
Rest.
And I almost collapse into the hammock.
He's sleeping now.
Who do you think you're speaking to right now?
Everyone, I return to them. I do not know if it's wise for us to have Sakawachi take it now, but we are safe for the moment.
Karun is so in the zone, creating this device. It does not even register.
Snow has sort of died down, by the way, at this point. After another hour has passed.
We could have another one of us try it. And just have the others watch over. Or
Yes.
I'm very willing to do so.
I hope this doesn't come off wrong, but I think perhaps it's best if you are the last. You are the one most capable of reviving us if something were to happen.
That is fair. I know that Malavik does not wish to do it, and Karun is quite preoccupied.
Then I will do it.
Are you sure?
Here are my notes, my observations, and what the Rashtok shared.
All right. Do you mind if I write notes in this for you as well?
Please do so.
All right.
I will gather up another vial where Arashtak has pointed it out.
I'll put my hand on your shoulder.
Yes.
I normally do not intervene with your decisions, but I do not think it's good for you to take it before. And I'll just gesture at our hands. If you go into a unconscious state that may affect you, it may affect me as well.
That's true.
You do not know our connection. The news is I don't feel that we're near anything that will actually enhance the bond, ley line wise. But we are very untested. Maybe I should go on a different part of the ship if you plan on doing this. That would leave Yara alone. Arun is busy over there. Nothing. Continue doing what you're
Yes.
doing. So I do not know.
I hear you. And I think it is wise. Perhaps we should ask Sakawachi to drink next.
Yes. We will at least get the answers we need to deal with that problem, which is much bigger than what we are experiencing right now. If we cannot have trust in the Stargazer, then we are in a bit of a setback. I just wanted to throw that in there. But do continue.
I squeeze your arm. Thank you. You
Yes.
are right. We're in this together. I'm sorry. That was a reckless thing for me to just
No.
offer.
It is fine. You are in much care of your companions as I am. There's nothing to be sorry about. We want answers. We are owed them.
All right. Let's find
But I am-
Sakawachi. Yes?
Concerned. You said that, or Shuck said that they felt like something was inside them.
Well, it seemed that they were coughing. They were trying to expel something. I don't know if it was actually something.
I don't mean to bring up old wounds. But what happened to your companion's body? Dronus was his name, yes?
Yes.
You may want to examine.
There is not much of it left.
You did not give them a proper burial. You did not see the body.
I could not.
Their spirit is still in unrest. Do you have means of contacting spirits?
In a way. But not in the way that you hope.
Fine. But the body. Maybe you should. When's the last time you looked at whatever is left?
We cannot remove it, otherwise it will... In the bag, we have a piece of him that we are holding safe to deliver to his family. Or... I have had a mind, and I believe Rashtok has, of seeking out rituals that might plead to the gods to restore him to his previous self.
I understand. Unfortunate. Their body could have been of use. If there's indeed something inside of us.
It is not enough. We would need his whole
Understood.
body, and it was, well, it was in no condition to save.
I apologize for bringing up old wounds. I will leave this be.
It was a good idea.
Yes.
I could go fetch Sakawachi. Leave you both to it.
All right.
Did he say how the spores were transferred?
My understanding is that we actually, I think you had a vision so many episodes
Yes.
ago where you saw all of us. And it sounds like it's the same spores.
In the previous vision that I had a long time ago, would I recall whether or not there was any sort of spores in the air, or if it was snowing or anything like that?
Yeah. Definitely. It all kind of lines up.
The snow? Could it be related?
It's possible. The snow could be the oil could be the spores.
Well, whales produce oil, do they not?
Can I roll an esoteric roll on whales?
Sure.
21.
So yeah, I mean, whale blubber is a typical thing that that's traded and sold. It makes like really good fat for various things, and like oil is one of those things that's used for lamplight, especially among northern areas, wherever there be larger populations of whales.
Karun pipes up from the corner and just says, anything can make oil if you're brave enough. Goes back to
terrifying.
what I was doing.
Is it possible that this is perhaps a path which the whale has travelled? Or something of that sort, leaving some sort of residue? I don't know. Pulling things out of my skirts, I suppose, but...
My understanding is that the whale was taken from here and imprisoned in Las Kailua, or the other way around?
Other way around.
Okay. It was imprisoned here. So I don't know if it would have been able to travel unless it escaped.
To our knowledge, how far are we from where the whale is frozen in the ice?
Pretty far.
This is very far away, though.
Perhaps the work or something else then.
Perhaps.
Karun, what are you doing?
I'm making an early warning system. No one has ever done it before, so it is a little bit challenging. Can I help you?
I don't know. Can we help you?
That depends. How much chemistry do you know?
Chemistry comes in many forms.
Never mind.
I mean, do you need it in the form of medicine, so to speak? I know things about medicine. I don't know anything about poisons or anything, really.
Does Karun believe that either one of these people could feasibly help with this? Is it within either one of their domains, to my knowledge?
I mean, you haven't. I mean, the closest thing would be any sort of medical preparations, but it's kind of far removed, I think.
I continue to go on and be like, you know, when someone has a magnetic personality, chemistry's all around them.
Yes,
That's true.
Yes, those are things. I'm quite busy. I'm almost done, though. I'll let you know when. Anyway,
all right.
Karun has a little monocle that she goes back to fiddling.
She said we were useless, essentially.
Honestly, it is a bit out of my purview. I think I might just get in the way.
Perhaps we see if Sakawachi is willing to take a dose, or if we need to try it on someone else.
Let's go meet up with Malefic.
Deniki, how is... Sakawachi, are you still feeling distant? Afraid? We had a breakthrough of some sort. Rashtak is still alive, breathing, well, resting, but trial 1 was, I believe, a success. We would like to share that information with you if you're willing to listen. I do believe that judging off of something that we both do not understand and throwing mistrust and any kind of harmful words around would be unlike you. You know, when I first met you, I was a bit taken back by the way that you allowed me to protect you without word, without caution, without cowering or feeling, well, like most people do. And to see you act in such distrust from a vision or pastime, as you so say, is very unlike you, I would like to point out, because we do not both do not know what role we play in this whole destiny that you speak of, so I was wondering if you had time to think and settle down.
Your appearance has never frightened me. I do not remember exactly what I saw. But
Yeah.
if you believe that this food may help me remember, I am willing to try it.
Yes. The outcome is different for everyone, more than likely. We only had one try it. And I'll lean in, the weakest of us all. I mean that in the best ways. Stature. His bones are... He's eating more. Always complaining about only need to eat what they need to eat. And anyway, I'm just not as stout as, as I. But with that, they survived. They are resting. They are well. Vitals are normal from what I have been told. But I will say that it doesn't taste pleasant, but I believe the more important thing is to getting you at a ease of mind. It would ease my mind as well to not know that you are in a state of worry. Betrayal to me is a word. Distrust is a word. That goes down in my core, you see. So I would like for us all to either find out the truth, and let's say you're right, let's say we are not to be trusted. We do not have any recollection of what happened, or what is to happen. But having an understanding could help us both. And destiny and fate can be, though some may think that there are threads that lead to these destinations are one-sided, they can be changed. At least that's what Yara says. I don't understand it. So would you like to join us?
Yes.
I will let Arcelia do the talking. She has taken notes. Denigi, I will sit with you. We will both watch over as Sakawachi goes through whatever they go through. It could be mild, it could be pleasant, but the reason why I would like to sit with you personally is to keep you back from disturbing. I do know that you have feelings that are very strong, Sakawachi, and they may go through lapses that may seem violent. Or they may look like they're sleeping peacefully. We have not tested it enough to know, but I would like to keep you at bay.
Understood.
With your permission. Good.
I do what I do for my people. This is my task. And as I have said before, I believe that all of our fates are intertwined. I must do this.
I will gently take Sakawachi's hand and look at her in the eyes. We will all be here with you. If anything goes wrong, you have lots of hands to help, alright? You're here.
You have my hand as well, Saku.
I'd like a Rostok. Let's see. Is there a place of comfort that we can construct? The way that Sakawachi's in the best comfort.
It would be the equivalent of like some blankets, you know, like
There's some extra furs.
We would
Make
want
a rug pile.
Yes.
Sure.
Wrap and constrict so that they don't lash out and maybe hurt themselves. I do not know.
Do not constrict someone in that way. It only causes them harm.
Understood. I'll leave it to your devices. And I'll stand next to Tanigi.
As we get prepared, I will read off my observations of Arashtok to help ease the expectations of Sakawachi before they ingest this. It will take about an hour for it to kick in. That is at least what we observed with Arashtok. So please try to get comfortable.
I will try.
Here you are. The vial.
Tanigi looks at it. There's that like low camera angle, like looking up. She takes a deep breath. All right. Oh. Vial. Like ruined leather. She closes her eyes. And she says, I will try to remember what I saw.
We are here for you. You will not be alone.
Karun, what does the device that you are working on look like, do you imagine? I'm just curious.
I think it is part of a blown glass item that I'd gotten from the alchemist kit. Inside of the glass is a small little bit of biological mass I have accumulated, and how it works is you set it somewhere, and when the little ball of like teeth and fur starts to rise, you will know that the oil has changed the chemical makeup of the water, and it is imminent.
Okay. As you are constructing this,
little markings on it.
You rolled ridiculously well for your crafting check before. What was that, 32?
That's right.
Okay. 32. This is going really well. Like it was one of those creative inspirations where you had a very clear picture about what to do, and it was like a eureka moment. You know, you just like, oh, if I just do that, it'll work. Duh. You know, like, I should have realized the first time I looked at the oil, you know. It was a bit of one of those kinds of moments. So you are working on this, and you know, you're hearing kind of bits and pieces of everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
An hour or so passes. And you, from your perspective, you're paying attention to this. You're working on this. The contraption that you've set up in front of you is just about ready. And it's at this point that you start to see a reaction. Something's happening.
Interesting. What is happening? Is it doing the thing that I... Like the little meatball is rising?
It's starting to move.
Very well. Hello, everyone. You here? So, two things. I've built this contraption. It can give us an early warning if we are exposed to the oil again. Also, it is giving us that early warning now. So, be prepared.
Could it be in relation that, and I point to Sakawachi for Karun to see. And I kind of quiet her down.
Yeah, I mean, Sakawachi is still kind of remaining kind of quiet. She doesn't seem to be reacting to anything that you're saying.
Have I observed any rashes, discoloration, any of the same symptoms that I saw in Arash talk?
Yes.
I think she's experiencing the memory right now.
And is Karun's device like partially outside? Like, how does it work in terms of reading?
Karun's still working on it.
If that's now it's coming. Oh, so it's not even finished.
Nope.
It's mostly finished. All right, it's functional. Right?
It's reacting right now.
It is reacting.
Well, perhaps if it is spores, we cover our mouths at least. I have no idea. But at least if there is something we're breathing in, maybe that will reduce it.
It doesn't hurt to try.
All right.
I begin looking for rags for us to tie around our faces.
Is it possible for me to create something like this?
Create a rag?
To improvise something more effective than a rag?
Eventually, probably.
Yeah, you can make a crafting check. It's a natural one.
That's then I don't want to suffocate myself. Never mind.
Karun, I think you're in the midst of creating this, and you're like, you know, you can definitely stop what you're working on and start doing that, but there's nothing that you can do fast.
That's fine. Yeah, I won't bother. I'll just keep working. Look, I have to finish this. Just do your best to, you know, prepare.
I feel like we already breathed it in. If it's reacting, it means that it's already happening, right? We really have to cover ourselves?
I do not know, but it is worth a try. Perhaps it is an accumulation of things.
Fine. I'll cover my face with my cloak.
Sure.
I will also cover my face.
Okay.
Or my mouth.
The three of you make perception checks for me, please. Actually, Karun, you can do this as well. Give me a perception check. So 4 of you.
28.
Okay.
Where am I?
Well, you're below deck.
No, just because I got a 13.
Oh, yeah.
Who are you people?
Yara, you're the only one that notices there is that strange, familiar smell.
The smell is coming. Do you not smell that?
I'm covered up. I do not know.
Keep yourselves covered.
What if it gets in our ear holes?
That's not how ingesting things works.
Could be.
Danigi, the last time this happened, you were not affected, but it affected the rest of us. We might have to rely on you to protect Sakuachi.
I was affected. She looks at you kind of strangely for a second, and she squints. And she's blinking slowly and looking at you as if whatever it is that you're saying or gesturing is falling on deaf ears.
Oh no.
Something's happening.
Perhaps we should try to...
You and Arcelia, as well as Karun, now begin to smell the sweet air that you're quite familiar with. You feel your vision begin to blur. And
you should.
The ship begins to fall away. You're hardly surprised as everything melts into another vision. You stand on hard, frozen ground in the center of a circle of towering black monoliths. The spires, each hundreds of feet tall, stand against a moonless night sky. Illuminated here and there by curtains of auroral light. The sled you dragged with you in the previous vision is nowhere in sight, though Sakuachi is present once more, watching from a distance. Below you, the ground is a sheet of solid, blackest ice. Through the nigh impenetrable ice, you see the form of a massive beast, illuminated in iridescent blue light. You feel compelled to get closer to the titanic being and kneel to do so. The ice cracks slightly. A piercing scream breaks the hallucination and dissipates the vision. Back on the mermaid's tears, Sakuachi stands on the deck, mouth agape, clearly caught in her own hallucinatory trance. She stares with wild eyes at a mass of dark clouds rushing towards the ship at an alarming speed. As the clouds near, they resolve into the shape of some massive whale-like monster, the same dark shape, just glimpsed, lurking beneath the ice. Its icy blue eyes shine through the storm like stars. The stars! Sakuachi cries deliriously. They've come to punish us! Indeed. The cloud monster's eyes become javelins of light, which streak down toward the mermaid's tears at incredible speed and land on deck with two audible thuds.